Hey, Stephanie,
Hi.
what's
How-
happening?
What's happening? I'm counting the days.
Tomorrow's my last, tomorrow I'm down to day one, my last day before winter break.
So jealous.
You got one more week to go, I bet.
One more week.
You'll make it. You'll
I'm
make it.
fighting. I'm fighting a cold. My nose is drippy. And the kids are all
Ugh,
like coughing all over each
yeah,
other and
that time of
everybody's
year.
calling out sick and I'm like, "Oh God, let me just make it, please. One more week. One more
You'll
week."
make it. You'll make it. Why we have, thank you for jumping on a little early
Oh, I do all the time in
all the
case you
time.
wanted to check out the tech and make sure your the file share is working and whatever.
Yeah, I just had to send you a request to
Okay.
share, so you should get that. I'm
Uh-huh.
usually on the other side of these things. All right, here we go. Share my sound and share.
Cool.
All right. So, all right, here's where I have an issue when I'm sharing. Oh, here we go, because it goes to another screen here.
Mm-hmm.
The chat. I just have trouble. Oh, here I got it. I got a couple screens going. Would you help me by monitoring the chat
Of
um,
course. I mean,
while we're going?
that's what I do anyway. I would not expect you to do both at the same time. That's crazy.
Lovely, lovely. Okay. Um, I've got some things to make this interactive.
Okay.
So hopefully I have a lot of fun with everybody. How
Mm.
many do you think we expecting this evening?
The other day when I emailed you, we had 36 registered, pre-registered. That
But you know,
that
yeah, people register just to stay active, and if they can
right.
make it, great. If they can't make it,
Right.
not a big
I
deal.
normally, like I said, we average between depending on the time of year, and right now it's kind of like nutso.
Yeah.
But it could be anywhere from like 10 to 25. So
Okay.
who
That's
knows?
yeah. Look, we're just starting out figuring this out. So, I
Mhm.
mean, if it works, if it's a hit, then maybe we could do it again, and if not, maybe we'll tweak things. Part of what I want to do though, Steph, is raffle off 3 Now conferences
Okay.
for our Winter Now conference. It's coming up in January. It's the 31st through the 2nd. It's like $199 value.
Nice.
I'm open to suggestions on how you might want to work this. I have this wheel, so when you spin it, it'll land on somebody's name. It only has Sean and Steph there now.
I like that. We could add everybody's names that is live and present.
So
Um,
okay. So I'm thinking that first of all, my goal is to get everybody logged in
mhm.
to our platform so they can feel free if they want to listen to my content and follow through along with me, great. If people want to play on their own, great. I'm not going to stop them. This is all about being interactive. People are used to being interactive in this thing. So I'd like for people to get logged in if they'd like to.
Mhm.
Um, and then as I go through a tour of the 2 different modules, Flex and Pro, I've got a scavenger hunt
Okay.
that um, I can drop this right into the chat and people can do the scavenger hunt. And it's just 10 questions to gets people used to navigating things. It's not that big of a deal. But maybe while we're doing the scavenger hunt, like I'll do like, 10 minutes on the clock for people to navigate on their own, go through this. We could be, or I could be adding in names here.
Okay.
Well, you think I'll see everybody's name on the Zoom?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm, okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can see them if you click in the messenger or the chat. Um, Not the chat. I'm sorry. Participants.
participants will be
If
up
you
there.
click on participants once we're started, you can see
You
who's
see
there.
everybody. And I could just enter in the names. I just don't want to miss anybody. But I think I could probably knock it out. Like if even if there's say there's 30 names, I can knock that out in 10 minutes.
There won't be 30 names. I'm not trying to,
Right.
burst your bubble. I'm just being realistic. There won't be 30 names.
That,
Especially not tonight because a week before
yeah.
vacation
Okay. Maybe there'll be maybe there'll be 10. We can
yeah. I mean, I can send you a private text if you want, and um we can compare names.
yeah. I just don't
Just
want to I would never want to try to do this in good spirit and have one person not see their name up there.
yeah.
Right. So these I just don't want this to backfire. But
Well, we could, I mean, if they're all going to see their names, we could ask, is anybody's name missing?
is anybody's name missing? Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do
Yeah.
that. All
I
right.
mean, they're all going to see their names, so before you tell them why their names are up there, we could say, please check that your name is up on the wheel, and then we'll tell you why.
And then all I'll need is their email addresses to get whoever wins.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll all have my contact information too. So, but I'll need their email address that they could drop in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they'll win the Now conference. That'll be good.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. And I usually let them in at 7, and then we like chit chat till like 7:05, and then we start at 7:05. Give people, a couple of minutes to dribble in, and then start. Does that work for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the screen you want to start on, or do you want to just start on your face? It's a nice background.
Yours is too. Did you make that?
I wish. It popped up somewhere on the internet, and I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I really like that, and I'm going to borrow it because, like, I want to replicate it or use it to inspire one of my own. I just really liked it. So, yeah. Would you believe that everything from conference is still in boxes on my dining room table?
I would believe that.
Yeah, I kind of dropped and then packed 2 days later and took off for Massachusetts the following weekend,
Hmm.
and then dropped everything from that, and then
It's non. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just tired. And then grades were due this week for the second marking period.
Well, I hope you take some vitamin C and are able to fight off that cold because it stinks being sick, like right when you
Yeah,
get through the holidays. But maybe it's just a sign that rest is needed.
and I went just before here. I went to see my allergist because I'm hoping it's just allergies because or just exhaustion or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. We have one, two, three, four, 5 people in the waiting room.
Mm,
No names that I recognize.
okay.
Okay. Which is good because new blood is excellent.
Yeah, they could be a draw for future ones that people who don't normally come.
Yeah. Maybe these are actually New York City. As funny as this is, I rarely get New York City teachers. I get out of New York people than I do
Hmm.
New York City people. So maybe this is a good draw for our own. I don't know why that happens.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
kind of odd.
this is really geared for New York City people.
This specific one, yes. All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna let everybody in. So here we go.
I recognize the name.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you know?
Big fan of ours. Somebody who I actually have got a video up here of her, and I don't know if I should show it or not now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little sniffly, but I'm good. How are you? How's everybody doing tonight? 1 week from Christmas vacation.
The minions are large. What are we talking about tonight?
Oh, hey, Jennifer. I'm Sean with the
Hi.
Art of Ed. I think that we've talked before.
Yes,
Nice to see you.
you too.
You might find something pretty familiar with this presentation today.
That is not okay.
All right, I can skip that.
I don't care. You can do whatever you want.
No, a little video was brought to my attention
Oh, I
recently,
heard. Little
and I was
Christmas
like, well,
elves.
I was like, oh, that's perfect timing. I happen to have a meeting with New York City, so I'm actually going to just
I
hide
watched
that.
that. I watched that and I was like, oh my God.
It was an optional thing that I just had on deck, just to
Oh,
have
now I'm
a
really curious.
we like to have video
Somebody's turning
testimonials of
beet red.
some of our fans. We like to have video testimonials of from time to time for different purposes. And I think one of our sales development representatives got somehow found that video of Jennifer was like, oh man, maybe you should use this for New York City. So, well, Jennifer, there's going to be perhaps some people on this meeting today that are not familiar with this content at all. So you
Oh
might be a
boy.
little bit familiar. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd welcome them.
No problem.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Thank you, thank you. I don't recognize any names, so you guys are all new to me, and I'm happy to see you. Welcome to my art club. I hope you become regulars.
Regulus.
Regulars. That would be really nice. Well, it's 7:04, and we have 7. Sean, 7, so we can wait a couple more minutes. I'm going to spotlight you, by the way. There you are, nice and big.
Oh, appreciate that.
By the way, everyone, I met Sean at a conference 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks ago? 2.5
It's a
weeks
big.
ago?
It's been a big blur.
Yeah, total blur. And he's just as nice in person as he is on the Zoom screen.
Thank you, Steph.
You're welcome.
Roseanne Ventura, your name sounds real familiar. I think you and I have possibly emailed in the past.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
We're trying to get it to see if the district would pay for it, or you were trying to get it at that point. And then I am with the other girl, Carolyn. I don't think she's on, but she's the one, she had called you last week
Okay.
to try to get a price for the year, and that's when you told her that New York City had just signed on, or
Yep.
yeah. So
Well, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
So I think our school did put it into Shop DOE to try to get a subscription.
Okay. I haven't seen anything come through yet, but we'll keep an eye out for that. Thanks for joining us tonight. And
I'm
um,
excited.
I'll give you some new information tonight. I promise. We'll have some fun too.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean. Thanks.
Yeah. Anytime you're ready, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Steph.
Mhm.
For anybody who is here that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, I see a few names that are somewhat familiar. My name's Sean, obviously, with the Art of Education University. Really just absolutely thrilled to be here, getting to know Steph and a few other people at the New York City Art Teachers Association since the beginning of the year has been an absolute pleasure, a learning experience, and it's just certainly just a pleasure to meet so many people who are passionate about art education. I've been working for the Art of Ed for the past 4 years. It's a wonderful organization dedicated and hyper-focused on visual arts and serving art teachers. You're going to hear me talk about our mission quite a bit tonight. Let me actually just share my screen and kind of let you know what I have in mind. So, for the past 4 years, again, since I've been working with since I've been working with the Art of Education, we've, seen art teachers around New York City just really have a big appetite for better resources to help them become more effective in the classroom, to feed their passions for art education. And obviously, as an organization that's what we do, we've been very curious about the best way to serve New York City art teachers. And it just was, there seemed to always be barriers for principals to partner with us, to access our resources. And mea culpa, we found out that the best way to clear some of those barriers is to get contracted with the New York City Department of Education. So as you can imagine, if you've been with teaching in New York City for quite a while, you understand that that's kind of an odyssey to get through that. So it took us over a year to go through the process. And just recently, we've been fully approved for a contract with New York City Department of Education. So we are doing outreach to educate art teachers, educate principals and assistant principals and district administrators to help them understand how we can meet our mission and how we can help them support their art teachers. And our mission is to grow amazing art teachers by providing them rigorous, relevant, engaging learning at any stage of an art teacher's career. So if you're here tonight, if you're newer to the teaching art in the classroom, great. If you've been doing this for many, many years, you're a seasoned vet with a growth mindset, great. Maybe you're just somewhere in between that's trying to figure out what to do next with your passions in art education. We've got something for you. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to play a little game, do a little icebreaker to get people thinking outside the box. I'm going to give you a guided tour of our content platform, which we call the Curriculum Suite. And we're actually, we've got our NOW conference coming up at the end of January. It's a twice per year NOW conference. If you haven't heard about it, I'll give you a little bit more information about it. We're going to raffle off 3 seats to the NOW conference. It's an online conference. And then we can have a conversation about tips for talking with your principal. But the first thing I'd like everybody to do, I'm going to leave everybody who attended tonight with a free trial of the curriculum suite for the next week. It's actually going to be open till the 23rd. But if you like, I'll drop a document in the chat. But go ahead if you want to log in right now and play along with me as I'm giving the guided tour. That's fine with me. Everything is case sensitive. So the username is Nikata, all caps, at aoeu.edu, and the password is AOEU123art. So you start off just by clicking on the link and going out to our website. And on the top right-hand corner, you'll see a login button. And then when the login information pops up, again, the username is Nikata at aoeu.edu, case sensitive. And then the password is AOEU123art. And I will just copy this, and I'm going to drop this into the chat for everybody as well. And so that whole link and all this information is in the chat. So be sure to save this documentation. I see a few people jumping on it. Great. Save this because you're going to have complimentary access to these resources until December 23rd. All right. So again, that's in the chat. There'll be other opportunities to log in if you'd like later on. But why don't we just start out before you take a deep dive on your own with the curriculum suite. Let's start off with a little game to get people thinking outside the box. Okay, so hopefully everybody can agree to this. In visual arts, we learn how to capture and express, and we teach our students how to capture and express the details that are most impactful. Would everybody agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you agree with that, I got another question. How many pennies do you think you've seen in your entire life? Thousands? Hundreds of thousands?
More.
Who here picks up a penny anytime they see it on the ground? I know I do. All right. I don't know if there's any penny collectors out there, but I don't want anybody to cheat. All right, Jennifer, thank you for that thumbs up. I don't want anybody to cheat. But if everybody thinks that they've seen many, many pennies over the time of their life, clearly you'd be able to look at these 12 pennies here, and only one of the pennies is an actual real penny. Does anybody have any guesses? And feel free to enter them in the chat. There's 12 pennies up here, but only one is the real penny.
Oh my God.
I don't see any guesses yet. All right, somebody, I see an L. Thank you, Megan. Would there be more guesses if there was prizes for this? I don't have a prize for this. This is for fun. D, all right, we got a D. An H, well, we're getting a wide variety of guesses. An I from Abby. An A, a lowercase a from Steph. All right. Roseanne, a B, another B from Roseanne. All right, any more guesses? Boy, any more? Are you sure? I guess everybody in New York City is just too busy to stop and pick up a penny when they see it.
Are we all wrong?
An F, I see. All right, oh, you changed it, Jennifer. Well, I'm sorry to say that nobody was correct. It's J. Oh man, I wish I was on there on site with everybody. So look, here's the gist of this game. It's like having the same experiences over and over again, right? And sometimes, like in the day-to-day grind, that's what you're experiencing, the same experience over and over again. And lots of times you tend to forget the details of what you're going through. Not until you're presented with something different that you realize some of the details that you're missing. So just like this routine, think about, the stagnant curriculum resources that you might be dealing with or the lack of resources. The stagnant curriculum and instruction, it can really lack critical growth opportunities for your students. And likewise, if you are just experiencing routine and irrelevant PD that has nothing to do with what goes on in your art classroom, and we hear that a lot, that lacks critical growth opportunities for art teachers. And I know that since everybody who took the time to jump in on this Zoom and this Art Teachers Club, you guys all have growth mindset. And I want to help you understand that, when you don't look at the details, sometimes you're missing those. What we like to do is help you understand how the curriculum suite can help you elevate your art classroom to a whole new level of academic achievement, individual growth. What's more is it can save you just a ton of time when it comes to finding the resources that you need to meet your student audience, to align with your talents and your level of expertise. and also give you personalized professional development as it relates to what you're interested in your specific situation of what's going on in your school. So on our curriculum suite platform, we've got 2 modules. We've got Flex Curriculum. That's like the what to teach. That's your student-facing materials, like your lesson plans and your resources and videos. And then we've got Pro Learning. Pro Learning is an on-demand, video-driven professional development platform. And I understand that lots of times, well, most of the time when Stephanie hosts her Art Teachers Club, these are hands-on activities. We're going to take the time to help you understand how hands-on you can actually get this evening and beyond this evening. So I just thought I'd start out with Pro Learning. Again, it's video-driven. It's on demand, so it's something that you can access anytime, highly personalized. So with Pro Learning, art teachers receive content-specific professional learning as it relates to their own individual needs, challenges, and passions as well. It's equitable learning also. So, you know, so many times art teachers have been described, and tell me if you agree with this. It's kind of like I've heard this a number of times over the years. I feel like I'm on an island all by myself, right? Art teachers are described as these castaways. With Pro Learning, art teachers have equal access to high quality professional learning, just like the gen ed teachers in your classroom, in your school. And it's also continuous and accessible. Um, you know, this isn't meant to replace, you know, the trips to the, you know, many wonderful museums you have in New York City. But we feel that professional learning shouldn't be limited to just these periodic events. It's actually the perfect complement. It provides continuous access to relevant and emerging content, and it ensures that you have access to anytime, anywhere, and sometimes just in time professional learning that you need. So as an art teacher, and I promise you, I don't have just slides today, but I just kind of wanted to set the table here. As an art teacher, you're going to come to Pro for a lot of different reasons. Simply just to explore your passions in art education. As I mentioned, let me actually go to our catalog here. Lots of times I've viewed some of Steph's Art Teacher Club sessions, and it's like learning new mediums. And with Pro Learning, this is our catalog here. We've got everything from weaving to wheel throwing to digital drawing to digital photography, oil painting, non-traditional firing methods, all sorts of wonderful new mediums that you could pick up with Pro Learning. Teachers also come to Pro Learning to utilize things to increase their effectiveness in the classroom, whether it's classroom management, to curriculum writing, to differentiation. We've got that professional learning that you need. What's more is that you can use Pro Learning to earn those important CTLE hours. It's there for you. And for those rare times where you have the opportunity to collaborate in district PLCs, or if you get together as a group, you can utilize our content to present to your peers as well. So all sorts of different ways this becomes handy. It's kind of like an art teacher's Netflix, if you ask me. Another art teacher described it at one point too. But this is why this is why your school principal would like Pro Learning. Number one, it gives you quality, targeted professional development. It's really hard to find, and it's time consuming to create, and typically principals aren't qualified to create that in your individual school. But when a principal does support their school with art teacher professional development, it results in attracting art teachers, their growth, and also their retention, because research shows that teachers tend to stick around where they feel supported. And again, principals know that it's equitable and it's uniform professional development that can align with school improvement plans. So it helps you advocate for yourself, increases your visibility and value for what you're trying to accomplish as part of this school improvement plan. All right, so let's just take a quick look at Pro. And again, you can follow along with me, or you can log in on your own. Now, I'm logged in under my individual login. The credentials that I shared in the chat, this is a sandbox that everybody's accessing. So that's important to note that what you're accessing complimentary is a sandbox for everybody. So any changes or any viewing that you might make is going to be reflected on everybody. But I'm going to go into my login. So I can see my login because it says SD, Sean Dunne. And I'm just going to launch Pro. And say I wanted to go to Pro and I had something in mind. Steph, give me a topic of something you might want to learn.
Silk screen.
Silk screen. So I just typed in silk screen and we've got a ready-made 2-hour professional development with 16 videos and 8 different resources, getting started with screen printing. So I can open this up and there's a little intro video here. I get some objectives and a description, and then I can just dive into the different modules in Pro Learning.
Wow.
And so I'll just play the little intro video just so you guys get an idea of what the quality is.
Hello, I'm Jack Watson, and I will be your facilitator for this Pro Pack on screen printing. I teach visual art and art history at Durham School of the Arts in Durham, North Carolina. I'm also a screen printer myself, and I also play music, and I'm the father to 2 young artists. Throughout this Pro Pack, we'll be talking about the history of the medium, some basic setup for creating a studio in your classroom, also some basic techniques for getting started with screen printing. We've got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and jump in.
All right, so that was just a little intro video, and then you can continue down through this module. Keep in mind that these are always bite-sized videos. So this is the next is a 1 minute and 30-second video. All right, so now there's a demonstration with an overhead camera, and then you continue to go down. There's downloadable resources. There's articles to read. Lots of these resources are very valuable to utilize in the classroom as well. You can see the facilitator is going to be introducing a resource to download as well. So let's take a look at that.
So in the last video, we talked about the history of screen printing, kind of an overview, and how it came to be a populist and accessible medium, and is being used by a variety of different artists for a variety of different purposes. And so what I want to talk a little bit now is how to choose artists for the classroom. On the website, we have a download which has a list of 15 artists and artist collectives, some from art history and some that are working today.
Notice how they had that overhead camera. So anytime there's a demonstration, there's going to be an overhead camera. We do a profile camera and a face-to-face camera. So he's introducing and talking about that downloadable resource. So in the next part of the module, this is where I can go ahead and I can click on this little download button at the bottom, and I can download this and utilize it for myself, or I can even utilize it in the classroom if needed. And that's the end of that module, and then I can continue down through the next module and digest the bite-sized videos as needed, look at the downloadable resources, and continue down through that Pro Pack. Remember at the beginning, we said that this was a 2-hour Pro Pack, so it's gonna take about 2 hours to get through all the content. And again, it might be videos, it might be articles to read, it might be a podcast to listen to, but as you continue down the modules on your own time, you might have 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but it's going to take you about 2 hours to get through this content. You get the opportunity to take a little quiz, and when you pass the quiz, you get the opportunity. You'll be awarded a certificate, and that's the certificate that you can turn in for your CTLE hours. And this is an example of what a certificate might look like. So it's that easy stuff. If let me open up the certificate here. This is an example of a certificate, but yours would say CTLE hours there. So that was pretty easy. We just used screen printing from one suggestion that Steph had. And that was from the main screen in Pro Learning. So you just kind of interested. This could be, Steph said screen printing, but it could be something like, maybe I'm dealing with a behavior in my classroom and I'm just need some just-in-time PD to figure out how I'm going to handle this. You might type in classroom management and you get brought out to 21 different Pro Packs around classroom management. So these are just different ways to discover resources. I'm going to go ahead and click on this P again and get back to the home screen. I can also click on what's called Pro Packs here. And this brings us to there's 214 different Pro Packs here. And when I said this is kind of like a Netflix for art teachers, this is where you can just start browsing the different types of Pro Packs that are out there, and just look for something that's interesting to you to explore your passions in art education, or maybe you want to create a personalized professional development plan and align with school improvement plans. You can do that with Pro. You could search by topic. You could search by grade level. You can search by different media there. We also have connections, cultural competency, SEL, cross-curricular. And then once you get more familiar with Pro, a lot of art teachers will lean in to their favorite facilitator. We've got just a ton of them as well. So let's say, for an example, that I'm brand new in the art classroom and I want to look at some instructional strategies. I'm an elementary art teacher, and I'm just want to maybe think about some things that are cross-curricular, so I can work with more of the teachers in my elementary school. So I went through a bunch of filters. Remember, there's over 200 Pro Packs, and then I landed on cross-curricular connections at the elementary level. Now this one's 4 hours long. There's 17 videos and 9 resources. So they're always going to tell you exactly how long a Pro Pack is and the type of content is in there. And then you get back into the different modules. The nice thing is that I don't need to go through these in sequential order. Maybe I just wanted to look up something around art and science, so I could actually just jump right into that module and start learning more specifically about art and science. So it's kind of like, just if I needed to pick and choose and I'm just trying to get some tips and tricks, well, this brings me out to an article about how I can inspire my students with how to inspire your students with artist Andy Goldsworthy. Okay, kind of cool. So it looks like it's some outside art there. All right, so just different ways to search Pro Packs. And go back into here. So again, I started off at the main page, which is Pro Learning, or I went into Pro Packs. You can also look at this implementation page. And there's a treasure trove of information here. First of all, there's all sorts of information about Pro. This is where our catalog lives. So if I go into our catalog, so this will give you an idea of every single Pro Pack that we have. Where was I? In the implementation page. We've got our contributors, how to calculate pro hours, and then we've got our framework. So I'm going to download this framework because I think that this is really important. And I'll blow this up for everybody. So look, you can have a lot of fun with Pro, but you can also really utilize this as an advocacy tool for yourself. Again, being on an island by yourself, lots of times in your school, or just having a couple art teachers, it's not uncommon for principals and assistant principals to not really get the art room. As an organization that is hyper-focused on visual arts, and what we feel that we're a leader in art education, we created our own framework called the Art Educator Framework. There's 6 domains, 15 subdomains, and 50 different competencies here. I've been told by art leaders that this is an art teacher's advocacy tool. This is where an art teacher can go out, and it's kind of like, it's a translation between like a Marzano or a Danielson framework, but it's specifically for an art classroom. So an art teacher can look at this and look and celebrate some of these competencies that they're very strong in, but also identify those competencies that they want to work on as an art teacher. And then you can take that and you can go back into the implementation page, and then you can actually take a deeper dive into this framework, into all the different domains with these one-sheeters that have different rubrics on what these competencies should look like in the art classroom. And then once you take a look at that framework and kind of decide on what you want to work on, we have high quality premium documents around crafting your professional development plan using Pro and incorporating it into your practice every day. These are things that you can utilize, and I highly encourage you to look at this implementation tab as you're going through your complimentary trial. And you look at these premium documents here, and this is just a great way if you took the time to complete this, or even just use it as a guide for when your principal or assistant principal is going to come in and do an evaluation. This is where you can advocate for yourself and say, here are my goals. Here's how I'm aligning to what we want to accomplish as a school community. But also I get to have some fun and explore my passions in art education as well. And I appreciate you supporting me with that. So again, in Pro, you can like utilize this and just browse the packs. You can type in what you want to learn today, but don't forget about this implementation tab, because I promise you it's just really a treasure trove of information for you. I'm going to pause. Does anybody have any questions?
There's a lot of cool stuff.
All right. So if nobody has any questions, what I'm going to do is we're going to take 10 minutes and I am going to drop this into the chat. We're going to do a little scavenger hunt. And I'm going to use an analogy, renting a car. Who here has rented a car in the past? I rent a lot of cars in my job. And when I get into a rental car, like it's very uncomfortable. When I'm driving off the lot, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to turn on the lights, the windshield wiper, the defrogger, the music is always on the wrong channel. It's a mess because I'm not familiar with it. But after I drive that rental car for a week, I fall in love with it. I don't want to give it up because I get comfortable with it. And I don't want to go back to my old beater that I drive at home. So the scavenger hunt is going to be like kind of helping you get used to driving your rental car. You guys have access to this sandbox. So hopefully everybody has been able to successfully log in. And just take the next 10 minutes to go through the different questions on this scavenger hunt and get the feel of what it's like to navigate through Pro. Remember, this is kind of like a rental car for you. So if you're looking for something, you don't find it, that's fine. Don't get frustrated. I'm going to tell you where there's some other support resources are there for you as well.
Did you say we have this rental car for a week?
So officially for a week, but I'm not going to be around next week. So I'll come back on the 23rd and it's going to be taken off on the 23rd of December.
Till the 23rd.
Till the 23rd. Right.
Okay.
So I mean, if you see a Pro Pack that you want to dive into between now and the 23rd, by all means, I would encourage you to do that. But let's let's see, what time is it? It's 7:35 right now. We'll go to 7:45.
Okay.
And this will give me some time to prepare the raffle.
Okay.
I'll leave this up in case anybody still needs to log in.
Prada at AOEU EDU. Uh-oh. said the password was case sensitive,
Yes.
so it's all caps. AOEU. AOEU. 1, 2, 3. Art. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Nicata at, oh. Aha. I can't get in.
You having trouble?
Yeah. Nicata all caps at AOEU lowercase dot edu. Right? That's the
Yeah.
email. And the password is capital AOEU 1. No, capital.
Are you using and the asterisk at the end, Steph?
Asterisk. Oh.
Yeah.
AOEU
Yeah.
2, 3 art asterisk. Aha.
Got it.
There we go. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. On-demand PD. Okay. How many pro packs are currently available? Oh my God.
I better find my answer key. I had it around here. Here it is. I didn't start any music. That usually helps, but we'll give it another 3 or 4 minutes, everybody. And I'm assuming, since there's no questions in the chat, that everybody is successfully navigating things through. And the gist of all this is to really just kind of give you your legs. I'll jump into more of that while you're working or after you're done working. All right, we're going to give it 30 more seconds. Steph, am I still sharing the right screen? You see, welcome back to Pro Learning on your screen.
No. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I'm sharing. All right. So pencils down.
Yes.
We'll go through I'll go through these fairly quickly. And again, everybody, I appreciate you taking the time to do this exercise. Thinking about this rental car. Keep in mind that this little guided tour is my guided tour. If you were to adopt this as part of, if you were to purchase this, we just have a full suite of actual training opportunities for you to enjoy. So keep in mind you haven't been officially trained with everything, but hopefully you find that it's pretty easy to and intuitive to navigate through this platform. So the first question, how many Pro Packs are currently available? Well, I kind of gave you this one as a softball. There's 214 Pro Packs. Jennifer Moyse, number 2. Can you name at least 2 Pro Packs that can help you with fiber media techniques?
Yes, I can. 1 second.
Okay.
I wrote them down. Oh crap. Now I don't know where it is. I screenshotted them.
You screenshotted them. Okay.
I know a friend and I didn't feel like running into the other room. And now they are not all in order. Let me see. No.
So, all right. So you just search fiber and we've got advanced fiber arts. If I go back into Pro Packs and I do, let me clear my search. Well, well, we could do things like getting started with weaving, crochet, advanced fiber arts, needle felting basics, basic weaving techniques. And I'll let everybody just jump in the chat. I won't put everybody in the spot. Sorry, Jennifer, didn't mean to do that to you.
That's okay. I got everything else. Ask me a different question. That's
all right. How about the next one? Number 3. Number 3. How many Pro Packs are facilitated by Amanda Hine?
5.
And look at that. 5 pro packs. You are correct. You are correct. Number 4. I'll go to Julia Maloney. Julia, if you want to jump in on this one. Name a pro pack that can help with diversity and cultural integrity. Well, if I were Julie, I would go to connections and I would do maybe a cultural competency filter here. And that would bring me to pro packs like de-escalating strategies for challenging behaviors, behavior management at the elementary level, and obviously there's a lot more there too. Number 5, help. I'm struggling with a student behavior and I don't know what else to do. Which packs might give me some new ideas to try? Well, you could do a very similar thing. That sounds like classroom management to me. So you just go to classroom management. You can look at de-escalating strategies for challenging behaviors and behavior management at the elementary level. All right, sorry about that. Number 6, who facilitates the Pro Pack crafting meaningful artist statements? So in that case, we can just go to type it in. Do a search on that. Pro goes to work for you.
I wish it had like round of applause soundbite.
That would be nice, right?
Yeah.
I'll add that in. But crafting meaningful artist statements for question number 7, or for question number 6 rather, is facilitated by the famous Tim Bogatz. So if anybody's familiar with either our Now conference or our podcast, Tim Bogatz is the person, is the voice on that that you hear. Question number 7, how many pro packs are available for elementary teachers on the topic of assessment? Elementary teachers on the topic of assessment. So topic, assessment, grade, elementary, and we've got 9 pro packs on the topic of assessments there. Go ahead and clear that out. We're getting there. If you're running an in-person professional development, maybe you had the opportunity to present to some peers. Which resource from the implementation page could help you plan? So that's really interesting. So remember, the implementation page can give you all sorts of information. If you're running an in-person PD, or if you have the opportunity to present to your peers, if maybe you want to get into leadership, which documents could help you plan that? Well, you might want to go to personalization, and here's a guide for how to use Pro for in-person PD. So you can go to that and you can get some sample agendas for your presentation, really, or you could actually go into personalization again, and we've got all these really cool playlists. And on one of these playlists, we've got professional leadership. So maybe you're trying to get into more professional leadership. And you could actually, we have these prepared playlists to kind of help you prepare for presenting in front of your peers, which can be quite intimidating. I know for me, it's always tougher to present in front of my peers than it is to present to prospective customers. All right, moving on. Number 9, I want to set up my students for success with my upcoming portrait unit. Portraiture is always one of the most sticky points from what I hear for art teachers. Help me find some printable resources in Pro that I could use to support them. Or in this one, you would go to, there is a Pro Pack called Portraiture at a Secondary Level. Did I spell that right? Portraiture at a secondary level. And in this, actually, let me just go back. It's a 4-hour PD, there's 18 videos, and there's 11 downloadable resources. So if you dive into that Pro Pack, you're actually going to find some resources that are not only going to be helpful for you, but if you've got some high school students, some of these could be advanced enough to really speak to those high school students as well. So don't forget about that implementation tab, all sorts of wonderful information there. And speaking of the implementation page, the last question, what resources can help you personalize Pro? Well, really any resource that you see on this personalization tab right here is really going to help you think about, wow, this could really help me with my own specific goals. And that's one problem we like to solve for art teachers is, again, so many times you're sitting in the back of that PD with the music teacher and the counselor, just staring at each other saying this has nothing to do with us. This is now the opportunity for you guys to get that PD that you need and the CLTE hours that you need. Does anybody have any questions about Pro Learning? Remember, on that curriculum suite platform, Pro is the first module. It's kind of like your teacher's edition, your how to teach. Flex Curriculum is just the other module on the platform. It's your what to teach. This is your student-facing resources. One of the huge things, and it's called Flex for a reason, because it's extremely flexible for an art teacher. The cool thing is it's an active platform. We're always adding new content every quarter, by the way. We're coming out with a brand new update in the next couple of weeks. We feel that, you know, our curriculum is different from standard traditional core subjects. We feel that art teachers and their students shouldn't have to settle for something that's stagnant. Instead, you want a living and responsible solution that captures events and experiences that are happening in your students' lives right now. So again, we come out with new content based on what our customers are asking for, trends in the marketplace, and just what's going on in the real world. We want to make sure that our resources allows you to not miss a beat with that with your students. Key is it's extremely customizable. So going back to our mission of meeting the needs of an art teacher at any stage of their career, it's highly customizable to fit your skill set, your experience level, but most important, your student population. Art teachers are not interested in that prescribed curriculum. You don't want to be told what to teach. We get that because we're an organization built by art teachers. What you want is autonomy. That's the word that I hear all the time. You want that autonomy to customize and create just like you're doing every day in the art classroom. And with Flex Curriculum, it's the very first curriculum solution that gives you that flexibility to do that. But your principal and your assistant principal are going to love it because there is some uniformity there. It's aligned with the New York State standards as well as NCAS. So, you know, we know when you're getting resources from disparate areas, whether it's, you know, just going out to Google or teachers pay teachers, it really makes it difficult for your principal and your assistant principal to effectively assess and measure the quality of what's going on. Flex Curriculum gives your principal that peace of mind that they've invested in high quality curriculum materials for you. And we know that classroom teacher practice and high quality curriculum materials really go hand in hand when it comes to student achievement. So we feel it's the best of both worlds. It gives you the ability to pick and choose what's going to work for you and your students, but also gives your principal that confidence that it's contracted through the DOE, it's aligned with the New York State standards, and it's giving you the resources to align with school improvement plans. So yeah, so that kind of brings me to this next slide. This is what we find of what teachers want. Again, autonomy. You don't have to give up those golden lesson plans, those ones that are going to work for you year in, year out. But you're going to find that there's a ton of resources that can add more sizzle to those lesson plans too. These are fresh resources that are readily available. And if you're going out to any other areas and buying resources, don't do that. Just ask your principal. They want to help you. And I know that teachers spend just a ton of time just trying to find these resources. Maybe it's that video, that just right video to kick off a lesson plan, but you're concerned that the content might not be appropriate. This is going to save you a ton of time and help you grow in your teaching craft. And again, you know, most schools in New York City have never had the opportunity to invest in something like this for their art team. Now they can. Maybe these principals have brand new art teachers that need a little bit more structure. We can help them with that. Maybe the art teacher just has veteran art, maybe the principal has veteran art teachers in their school. But it's just finally time to give them the resources that they deserve, that they've been needing for many years. And we know, again, that principals have never had the opportunity to purchase anything because there's never been anything contracted. They just didn't know what was available and what was vetted. Well, now it's there. Now it's available for them, and it's real easy for them to click the button to get this for you if that's what you want. So in Flex Curriculum, again, these are your student-facing resources, your lesson plans, resources to support those lesson plans. We have videos that you can't find on YouTube that are specifically created and aligned to a K through 12 classroom environment. We have an assessment bank that we have everything from pre-assessments to summatives to formatives to critiques and everything in between. And I really love our artist bios. We take pride in the artist bios because these are modern, living, working artists, as well as the classic ones also. But the artist bios that we like to show our students are the ones that are working, the ones that our students can really relate to. So I'm going to show you that as well. Let's take a look at Flex Curriculum. And feel free to follow along with me, or if you're logged in and you're already poking around, you just go back into My AOEU to go to this screen, and you launch the curriculum piece. So Steph, I'll pick on you again.
Yes.
What's a curriculum resource or something that, or a lesson plan or something that you might want to look at for a student-facing resource?
Oh boy. How contemporary are your artists' profiles?
Ah, okay. Well, we can start there. I don't know if that's going to bring me there, but I just typed artist bios. This brings me to over 1,000 different artist bios here. We don't need it. We need to kind of drill down to this a little bit. So
Okay. You have somebody named I think her name is Victoria Villasana.
I'll just type in Victoria. I'm not going to try to spell her name. We don't have anything like
All right,
that.
spell Villasana, Villa Villasana, S-A-N-A.
We don't have Victoria in there, but we take a lot of suggestions from our customers in this bottom right corner here.
Okay.
Let me go into those artist bios. So, and I'll digress here. So as an art teacher, you are going to go to Flex for the 3Ds: to discover resources, to design your units, and then to deliver them in the classroom. If you just want to do something in the search bar, you can do that. But we also have this sidebar here. And little pro tip, if it's closed down when you first access the sandbox that you're in, you can click on this hamburger at the right and you want to open up this menu because you're not familiar with it. So artist bios, those are located in our, well, we've got our artist bio toolkit here, but we also have our resources. And then if we go to resource type, we've got artist bios as well. So now we can browse our artist bios. I'll bring up Aaron Coleman. And then I'll download this so we can see this a little bit brighter. Keep in mind, this works perfectly in a learning management system. So this is a wonderful piece to drop into our learning management system if you want your middle school, your high school students, or even we've got these at different reading levels. If you want your students to read about a certain artist ahead of time, before class, it's a lot easier to drop this in a learning management system or to print out some copies for them rather than to have them go into an old dusty book somewhere or to look something up on the internet that's not vetted. But here's Aaron Coleman. Let's see. He was born in 1985. He's a printmaker. So that's somebody who you might be interested in. He's from Washington, D.C. This tells a little bit about his work and his world. And there's always reflective questions at the end as well. So an active, living artist who your students might relate to. Let me go back here to our artist bios, and we've got over 600 different artist bios in here. And if you're looking for better ways to utilize our artist bios, you might want to go into our artist bio toolkit. when you download this, it's going to give you just all sorts of tips and tricks to utilize these artist bios in your classroom, in your lesson plans. Here's a table of contents. We've got the anatomy of an artist bio, how to find them in Flex, how to utilize them in the classroom. So we've got all sorts of different suggestions in here. And then if I actually go to the, if you're teaching high school AP art, we've got every single artist bio represented on the AP art history test. We've got a quick reference guide for different citations and different websites where you can find more information on them.
We have a question.
Yes.
Where can we suggest artists?
If you wanted to suggest the artist, you would go into Flex Curriculum. And down here, if I can open that up, we have a suggest a feature, and we might have moved that. Sorry, this is a new feature that just popped up. We do have a suggest a feature in our help center, and then we also have in our online chat is where you can suggest additional artists there. But going back into the artist bio guide, we've got, we've got artists that are separated by state, by birthday, by month. So I'm kind of going backwards here. Oh, this is all the different artists. Don't want to get too much of a deep dive into this. You guys will have the ability to download this. All right, so here's our artists by state. If we go to New York, we should probably have a lot of them. So here's all of our New York State represented artists. We've got them separated by country. This is great for like Latino Heritage Month. We got everything by, here's the advanced placement and everything in between. So lots of good information on our artist bio tool guide. Feel free to download that and check it out. But just going along this library here, there's also an implementation tab in Flex, just like in Pro. All sorts of wonderful information here. We've got sample scope and sequences to give you inspiration to put together some units on your own. And then we also have our teacher's edition. This is kind of like a manual. So if you're looking for ways to differentiate using Flex resources, that's chapter 3 of the teacher manual. If you're looking for ways to tie in cross-curricular connections or to put more arts integration, we've got a whole chapter dedicated to that. We've got a plug and play rubric. We've got a fillable scope and sequence for you to fill in on your own. All sorts of wonderful information to help you take a deeper dive into Flex. But remember, you're going to go to Flex for the 3Ds, just to discover resources and save you just a ton of time in finding the resources, design your units, and to deliver them in the classroom. You might want to start by looking at our collections. And our collections are basically all of our curriculum resources that are bundled together by theme. Like for example, and like we've got, how many collections do we have? 121 collections. I know, yeah, we've got a K-12 collection for like Native American History Month. You might want to go into the collection for Native American art and get some inspiration about some lesson plans or some resources that you might want to use for Native American History Month. All sorts of different collections for all sorts of different ways you want to get inspired. Again, collections are all of our resources that are bundled together by theme. Maybe you just want to search specifically our lesson library. We've got 752 different lessons. You could sort them by grade level, K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, or 9, 12. So if I'm a high school art teacher and I just want to look at the high school ones, but don't pigeonhole yourself either, because differentiation is key. I've actually had high school art teachers tell me that they're using elementary level lesson plans very successfully in their classroom. You could sort by duration. So maybe I'm high school, I'm looking for something that's 1 to 2 hours that has to do with, let's do sculpture. It drilled us down to, well, we'll do sculpture and then we'll also, let's get a bigger selection. Maybe I'll just do markers to get a bigger one. We've got 5 different lesson plans to choose from. I can open up a lesson plan that looks interesting to me. First thing you can see is I could share this. So anybody else who has Flex, I could share this with them. I could print it out. I could bookmark this if this is something I like, but I don't want to take a deep dive into it now. I can bookmark it so I can go back to it later, or I could add this into my library. And this is right here, and this is kind of like your digital planning book. I'll get into that shortly. But every lesson plan template is going to be exactly the same. It gives you recommended supplies and materials, estimated time requirements, downloadable artwork, clearly defined objectives and teaching strategies. Here's my faux pas. This is still I was in Virginia earlier this week. I got to change this to the New York standards, and it's real easy to do that. But it is, when you guys look at lesson plans, you'll see that I've got it set up for New York. Every lesson plan is going to have between 6 and 8 step-by-step instructions, along with corresponding pictures and photos. All right, so this lesson plan has 8 different steps, and there's always supporting materials to help support that lesson plan. So every lesson plan is going to be, the templates are going to be very much the same, whether it's an elementary to a high school level lesson plan. Let's go back into the lesson library again. Remember, there's 752 lesson plans. Maybe I'm a teacher looking to serve my earliest learners. And again, I want to do something, 1 to 2 hours. This time we want to cover painting, the finger painting for the little kids. And the elements and principles I want to cover are color. So I can very easily drill down from over 700 lesson plans to 14 different ones that could be a good fit for me. And then this one, I'll click on how things are made, and you can see, again, it's the same type of template. This one has some essential questions to ask, as well as all different ways to differentiate this lesson plan for those smaller learners. So that's our lesson library. I encourage you to look for lesson plans that you feel that might work for you. Maybe just looking for resources like those artist bios. Maybe you want to look at anchor charts, career profiles. These career profiles are wonderful. They're part of the National Core Art Standards now. And these are just great ways to get kids more excited about, if they have a passion for art, to help them understand that they can actually make a living at this. We've got discussion questions, graphic organizers, vocabulary lists, reference sheets, different templates, worksheets, all sorts of different writing support as well. Speaking of writing support, we've got this wonderful literacy guide. Let me see if I can't find that. Yeah, it's right here. This literacy guide is so sweet. It aligns. Let me download this. It aligns hundreds and hundreds of commonly read books in an elementary classroom with art lesson plans. So imagine what it might look like. Let's do. If a gen ed teacher reads the book Surratt and the Dot, anybody ever read that book, Surratt and the Dot, for elementary? Imagine reading that book to the students, or if they read that into the elementary room that they were just in, and they all came into the art classroom after just reading that, and you had a ready-made 20-minute, 1 hour and 30-minute lesson plan for these kids to do some printmaking and picture themselves as being their own artists. It's all right there. Great ways to collaborate. So explore the resources. Videos. So I'll play one of these videos for you. This is a great way to kick off a lesson plan. Let's do composition. This is a K through 12 aligned lesson plan around composition. And I'll just play it. It's 4 minutes long, but we won't listen to the whole thing.
What is composition? Composition is the arrangement of elements in an artwork that work together to produce an overall effect. Artists use elements, color, shape, line, texture, value, form, space, and scale to build their artworks. The way an artist arranges these elements in an art piece can generate interest for their.
All right. So again, this video is a little over 4 minutes long. Let's see here. Yeah, 4 minutes and 28 seconds long. So it's a great way to kick off a lesson plan and to show that in your classroom. And just think about, you know, all the hours and hours that you've spent trying to find that just right video out on YouTube, and you're worried about ads or inappropriate content. We are constantly building out more and more videos, and you're not going to find these anywhere else out on the internet. And you can be confident that the content is 100% appropriate for a K through 12 environment. I'm just going to click on this F again to bring me back into this homepage. So we've gone through collections, lesson plans, resources, videos, assessments. Sometimes that's a dirty word, but we do have, as I mentioned, critique assessments, formative, peer assessments, pre-assessment, reflective, and summatives. As you explore the different assessments in Flex, as you discover the different assessments in Flex, you might find that these are pretty much left open so that they can be used with, you know, a number of different lesson plans. And most of our assessments are interactive as well. So you can, you know, if you downloaded it, if you put this into a learning management system, each student could go ahead and interact with the assessment that way. So there's all sorts of wonderful assessments in there. Again, kept open so that they can be used with different lesson plans. All right, the standards. So let me show you how easy this is. If you go into standards, maybe you're just trying to fill some gaps in your curriculum. I got to switch this to, we can go to NCAS, or I can go to New York. Let me switch this to New York. I'm going to set this as my default because I teach in New York State. So you're trying to fill some gaps with an artistic process or an anchor standard, or if you're looking for a grade specific resource or lesson plan, this is where you want to go. So if I just want to look up connecting, and then I'll do the first anchor standard. Hopefully this is a good match. No, it's not a good one. What do I do? Creating. All right, so creating anchor standard number 1, and say I'm looking for resources for first graders. Flex goes to work for you, and it searches our thousands and thousands of resources, and it's only querying resources that are aligned to this specific standard. And then I can collect asset type, and I can look up lesson plans, I could look up assessments, and I could look up resources. And again, these are the ones that are only aligned to this specific standard. Maybe I don't want to look up first graders. Maybe I want to look up high school advanced. Again, it saves you just so much time finding those specific resources that you might need. And then I could look these up. And once I've organized everything and I've bookmarked things that I like, I can go into my library. Now, in the sandbox that I have set up for everybody, your library is a clean slate. And everybody's going to get the chance to add in information here if you choose to do that. This is basically, think of this as your digital planning book. So you see, I've got all sorts of classes set up here because I've been demonstrating this for quite a while. But as I've gone and discovered the resources that I want to use, maybe I'm a second grade teacher, now I can start building out my units, and I can save all this information in my library. So you can see I've got 2 units here. Art and food, art and animals. Just getting started with these particular units. I've only got 2 lesson plans in this one, so I got to continue to build this out. Everything can always be edited and managed and customized exactly how you want to use it. But my library, again, is more of a way to keep all of that discovery in one place and design it, and to make sure that you have the resources that are going to meet your needs and save you time and be ready to teach for the entire semester. So again, Flex curriculum, discover, design, and deliver, save a ton of time, and have your fingertips on resources that you need. All right, so I think we've got a couple people that have to take off. Does anybody have any questions additional questions about flex curriculum? All right, I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but I want to make sure everybody has the support resources that they need with accessing this. So again, I'll drop this document into the chat one more time. So Megan, your question is, you have the ability to download and print the resources that you need now. That's my gift to you. Now, please, I ask you, if you're finding value in this, if we notice that there's some abuse going on and there's hundreds and hundreds of downloads going on in the sandbox, it will be turned off right away. But I want you to discover resources that are going to you find valuable. And if you feel that you can begin using them in the classroom tomorrow, by all means, I want you to do that. But let's say this, and that's actually a really good segue. If you're finding value in that, it said it's not available to download in the trial. Maybe that's something that they've changed. They might have changed that in that trial. I don't think that they should have, but let's see here.
While you're checking,
Yes.
for those of you who need CTLE credit for today or a certificate, I just put the link to the document in the chat. So just fill out the document, and my partner, who could not be with us today, will send out the certificates via email. She said tomorrow. Make sure you can get into that document right now. Let me know if there's a problem. Just let me know. Okay.
Yeah. So whoever caught that, there's some talk in the Art of Ed that they're going to stop allowing the free trial users to download resources because there was some abuse going on. So I'm sorry, not that I wanted, this is brand new. Again, it's a dynamic platform. So it's because this is a complimentary trial, it's not allowing you to download the lesson plans. And it probably did the same thing.
Can we print them?
No.
So
It's view only.
View only.
It's view only. And in pro learning, let's see if we can't, in pro learning, let's see, let me find a downloadable resource here. Of course, I picked one without any downloads.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a different one. Lots of resources here. Here's one that has 11 resources in it. All right. So if you go into pro learning, I just downloaded this. So unfortunately, and this is brand new, sorry I didn't know this, in Flex Curriculum, those resources are not going to be downloadable. So it's only discoverable. If you're finding value in that, hopefully that's a little bit more motivation for you to go to your principal to see if this could be purchased for you. Pro Learning, when you dive into the Pro Packs, you do have the ability to download the resources, and to do that, when you click on the resource, it'll open up at the bottom and the little download cloud is right here. It allows you to download it and get right into it. And then you can print it and do whatever you'd like with it. So sorry about that. But again, this demonstration's open, this sandbox is open to you for the next, till the 23rd. We do have a help center link. I want you to utilize that. It's all sorts of searchable support. And there's recorded trainings for if anybody wants to sit in on a couple of recorded trainings are available in the help center. We didn't get a chance to go through that today, but it's just a wonderful area for you to get used to this rental car that you're in. When you actually purchase the live product, not only do you have access to download everything, but you get access to live instructor-led web-based training. Please utilize the online chat in the bottom right corner of the curriculum suite. So when you go into this, the bottom right corner, this is also where you can suggest features. If I click on live chat, it's during regular office hours. So yeah, we are, I think we close down at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But typically we are not bots, and there will be somebody there to answer your question. Anybody, I left my contact information here. Anybody can go ahead and email me. And then also there's a link here in this sheet for different advocacy points for you. Just different talking points and different downloadable resources for you to utilize and to prepare yourself to talk to your principal. If this is something that you might find value in, or if you want us to schedule a one-on-one conversation with your principal, I'm happy to do that with you. This Arts Advantage report talks about all different ways that art can be meaningful to a school. We've got our art education survey, and then we even have these nice videos that help you, give you tips and tricks from real art teachers about how to ask for resources for your principal. They want to help you. So some step-by-step instructions. If this is something that you're interested in, I just thought I would be remiss if I didn't kind of walk through the process of asking your principal. So the first thing, just ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. And the principal surveys that we're getting back is the vast majority of New York City art principals just don't know what's out there for art teachers. So talk to them, just ask. And if this is something that you want them to invest, you can go right out to Shop DOE. And hopefully everybody knows what that is. Maybe you've logged into it before, maybe you haven't. But this is Shop DOE. And the easiest way to find our products is just to go out in the search bar and type in the Art of Education University. And because there's like thousands and thousands of products in Shop DOE. And here's our products. And you want to either think about the curriculum suite or the professional suite. Again, that curriculum suite includes both Flex and Pro. The professional suite includes the Now conference as well. But if you click on professional suite, all you have to do is add this to a shopping cart. You go up to the shopping cart here. This is what your principal needs. And if you can just share this. I found it's best to download it as a PDF. And when you download this to a PDF, all your principal needs is this piece of paper or this link, because they click on this link, it brings them right out to the curriculum suite. They see that it's NYSL approved. They can go right into FAMIS and click a button and create a PO for $974. And the principals that I've talked to, they don't even bat an eye when I say $974. They say, what, is that all? Actually, I had one principal tell me recently, like, Sean, that's couch cushion change compared to all the other resources I have to buy for other teachers. So that's the feedback that I'm getting from principals. And this is the easiest way, the path is cleared for them to be able to support you. So I included these step-by-step instructions if this is something that you feel would be a good fit for you. Again, I'm going to pause if there's any questions.
No questions.
All right. Now,
lots of thank yous.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody's time today. Now, a couple people dropped off. And what that does is that is going to increase the chances of the people who were able to stay in to win a free Now conference. So if you're not familiar with the Now conference, gosh, now I've got so many.
Julia asked, we have a message in the chat. Hold on. She's asked, is it a year subscription from the date that the PO goes through, or is it a school year?
Both.
Both.
Yes. Well, either way. I mean, we can align it to however you want to align it. Most recently, it'll activate right away. And what we found is by not putting the date on the invoice, is that principals can go ahead and renew at any time during the year.
Cool beans.
So it is a year subscription.
Okay.
So it'll start right away once you activate it. Because if your principal sends us the purchase order, including your email address, once we process the order, you'll get a welcome email, and you can decide on when you want to get everything activated. All right, so we've got our Now conference coming up January 31st through February 2nd. It's an online conference. Kicks off on a Friday with lots of fun and games with Amanda and Tim. And then the second day is a full day of TED Talk style presentations. And then after that, if you're not able to attend all those presentations, or if you want to go back and listen to it again, you get a year of the afterpass. So you have access to all these presentations for the Now conference. And our feature presenter this year is Carrie Mae Weems. It's just, this is where thousands and thousands of art teachers come together. And I've been given 3 free Now passes to raffle off today for all those who attended. And I'm going to spin the wheel, and if it lands on your name, put your email address in the chat, and then that way I can copy that and make sure that you get your free Now conference. Here we go. Because a few people dropped off. I can't remember exactly who dropped off, but the first big winner, is it Roseanne or Abby? Abigail. You still with us, Abigail? It looks like it.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Congratulations. If you wouldn't mind putting your email address in the chat, and we're going to send you that Now conference pass tomorrow. Sound good?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go for the next big winner. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. My contact information is on the Google Doc that I shared, so if anybody has any questions. Uh-oh. This isn't rigged. Our famous host, Stephanie. Free Now conference. I've got your email address, Steph.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You don't have to put that in the chat. All right, and then our final winner is it Holly?
Woohoo!
Oh, I don't know. I think
Oh,
Holly
no,
is
she's
gone.
not here. She's
Wah,
not here.
wah. We're going to spin again. You got to be present to win on this.
Gotta be in it to win it.
Got to be in it to win it.
Ah,
Roseanne.
Roseanne's gone too.
Roseanne's gone too. Oh boy, it's getting. All right, we got a 1 in 4 chance now for whoever's ever left. Miss Juan, congratulations. You are here. I saw you were still here in the thing. So I don't know how to pronounce your first name, Miss Juan, but if you wouldn't mind putting your email address in the chat, I will be sure to get you your Now conference tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Actually, let me do this.
Congratulations, you guys.
Congratulations. I just want to copy that. And then I want to copy Miss Juan. Oh, there we go. I'm going to copy that. Give me 1 second here. Just there we go. All right. All right. Well, I think I've kept everybody long enough tonight.
Well, you were great.
Well, again, my name is Sean. The link to the complimentary sandbox is in the chat. Hopefully everybody has a copy of it now. My contact information, my email is in there as well. So if anybody has any questions, just let me know. And I really appreciate everybody's time today. Thank you, Stephanie, for allowing me to present today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you as well. You were very informative, and I'm looking forward to browsing and browsing and browsing. Actually, we do have time during Christmas. Christmas vacation starts next weekend, so I will have some nice quiet days before it runs out.
I hope you get a chance to jump into one of those pro packs. That's gonna,
Yeah,
it's gonna
that'll be fun.
teach you something new. So really
Yeah.
appreciate the time today.
Thank you. I hope you guys come back next week because we have another cool session on Thursday from a teacher celeb online. It's Mrs. T. Fox from Teachers Pay Teachers. She's got a YouTube channel. She's got Teachers Pay Teachers site, and she's going to be doing I just blanked out on oh my god. She's doing books. She's doing books with us. Oh my god, my words are completely leaving me. Repurposed books in the classroom. Thank you very much. Oh my god. So please come back. And we have more. I'm doing new sessions in the new year also. I'm going to be doing Lego printmaking and mini quilts, January and February. Come back and see us again. Sean, you're welcome to pop in anytime.
I appreciate that.
Of course, of course, of course. And if we don't see you, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay away from the cooties because they're out.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy holidays, everybody.
And
Thank you so
enjoy
much.
the weekend. Yep. Be well all and see you soon. Thank you. Have a good night.